Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is White Lightning. Welcome back to episode 6 of Cities Skylines in the city of Alexandria, which right now has been kind of gutted. Last episode took out a lot of what we had zoned in the previous... I'm gonna go ahead and pause here for a sec. A lot of what we had zoned in previous episodes to get the city built up and established and started. Now we're working on a really grand downtown with a ton of green open space. Looking at this is like, I don't know, a quarter or 20, probably 15 or 20% of our downtown area here. But that's okay. I think it's going to be really grand. I think I'm going to like it a lot. So I went ahead and, we have these two big avenues leading off of the highway, leading off of and to the highway. And then I went ahead and made this little square about with these one-way streets here. And my reasoning for that is I want to place in our first steps to get to the monument that we're going to want to build, which is the... not the monument, the achievement, or I can't remember what it's called. The space elevator, though. I'm going to want to be building the space elevator, and I think I intentionally built these squareabouts so that they would fit just perfectly this Statue of Wealth, which is awesome. A little bit of uneven terrain there, which I might smooth out just because it looks kind of ugly. Yeah, that's probably not the worst idea, actually, is smoothing that out a little bit. Let's grab our landscape tools here. And let's see, how are we going to want to do this? We're going to want to level it to a point, probably. Let's see, that's our slope terrain. Where's our level? Here's our level. So I'm going to right click here and set that terrain height to be right there. And then let's see if we can get this back end of the monument to be level with the front end. I think that'll look better when we won't have any derpy or goofy terrain issues going on. It's going to be a little bit hard to do with these roads and stuff. A little hard to get everything just so. I think that's worth doing though. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and try to level this whole road. Is there a way to turn up the strength? There is. It's right here. Haha. We are incurring cost for this landscaping. Is it even going to let me level those out where that road is? Maybe not. I might have to delete that road for a second. Just a sec. Now that the statue is in place, I'm not going to have... I did have a really hard time drawing that... drawing those roads around to be the right width and everything. Now that the statue's in place, we should be able to... Yeah, I know you're disconnected. That won't last long, though. So we can go ahead, and I'm just going to level this... this whole area, really. And then as we put the roads in, things will change a little bit. And we'll smoothen that... Smoothen? Is that a word? That is a word. We'll smooth that slope out a little bit, too. Okay, but that looks good enough. Let's go ahead and try to place our roads back. And we'll just use the one-way road, and again, construct this squareabout. Which somebody was telling me is that there's a YouTuber out there that I can't remember the name, actually. Biffle, I think, was the name, who does City Skylines and is like super insane about roundabouts and ovalabouts and all sorts of oblong abouts and things. And this commenter was saying that's what my struggles with the roundabouts reminded them of. Yeah, still not perfectly flat there. Let's grab our landscaping again and take a look at what's going on here. Yeah, that road leveling kind of changed things up a little bit. If we level to this, yeah, it's like it's sloping up to meet that road. I don't know, that might be as level as we can get. And then let's go ahead and grab our slope terrain. And I'm going to click from here. And see if we can't even out that slope a little bit. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to soften. And let's see if we can soften that hill away. So we'll have a little bit of a hill. That won't be the end of the world. A little bit of hills and terrains are nice in your city. Okay, I do think that looks better than it did. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. No, I think it looks better, especially from a distance, than it did. Okay, so let's grab our 6-lane road back and reconnect that. What do you mean you're not connected to a road anymore, statue? I know you are. Let's try relocating. Oh, I messed up my squareabout. Fetch. Dang it. That's exactly what I wanted to not have happen. You know, I have to waste some money to relocate this. Back here. Yeah, because this road section here needs to be different. It's important to me that this be right on because, again, this is like the centerpiece of our city. People are going to notice, right? If things aren't totally square. There we go. You guys will notice anyway, and I'll notice. There we go. So we grab this. Bring this in like so. There we go. Okay, so that just lost us 10 grand while we relocated that. But now it's right, and it's right on. Perfect. And we shouldn't have the same problems over here because it looks like this terrain is more level. Okay, so finally, we'll do the final connection like that. And let's go ahead and de-zone this and make sure that this is not zoned as well. Okay, something like that. So we have this nice plaza with the statue here. That'll look really good. And then it's time to place the city hall, which is the building that I want to put down. And that's clear over here. I was scrolling through looking at what we had available. Don't tell me I'm out of money. No, I am not. Excellent. This only costs 20,000 too. That's perfect. Let's see if we can get this centered. I seem to remember the city hall being a little off center, so it might not be totally center right here in the middle of town. Let's count how many tiles here. On the left we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the right we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope. I eyeballed it perfectly centered. There we go. There's our city hall. Nice. And of course things will get better looking than they are. Things look kind of naked right now, but that'll have to wait for a second. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to keep things paused because we're about to run into problems with industry zoning and a population crash stuff. We're down to 4,800 people and we're losing more every week as we take out the places for them to live. Turns out people need places to live if you're gonna have a good and successful city. Wild, huh? Who would have thought? But I will go ahead and let's make a few changes over here in the Little Romania neighborhood, which I'm really liking how it's coming together. And that needs to be just your regular two-way streets, like that. Okay, that's good. And then how should we do this as far as zoning goes? Let's go ahead and make this section commercial. This section commercial. Throw in some residential over here. Not right there though. I still want that to be commercial as well. This section commercial. I'm actually thinking about putting a city park right here, in this area here. Just taking out these roads. In fact, with that in mind, I'll go ahead and zone and place roads as if I'm planning to do that. I won't zone along here. The park we'll just put in a park fence right here and have a good sized little park there. And then let's grab just a little more residential along this area. They should have services and everything that they need there. And then we need to place down our industry. So for industry, I want to, again, try to avoid zoning right alongside the main road here so we don't have trucks turning off there and causing problems. So I'm just going to grab my marquee or mark tool. I don't know how is the proper way to say it. And we're just going to stick some industry right there, and it'll be all in a line, which should actually help with traffic congestion. And then let's make sure we have water running to it, which we do not. We can fix that easily enough, though. So like this. And then like this. And what are you guys complaining about? Not enough customers. Okay, that's fair and makes a lot of sense. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and unpause and let's check what we have zoned exactly. Yeah, this can all be zoned. This can be zoned residential as well. And let's put in some residential neighborhoods in this area. Put in our block here. And then, cut the block with a couple of streets like this. And then let's actually go ahead and I'm going to grab a small playground and place that here just so our residents have, something to drive up the land value and something to attract them to the area. I am thinking, oh geez, how do we want to do this? Do I want to have, it's good to have a buffer zone of commercial. Do I want to have a zone of an area of commercial running along here and then industrial filled in behind it? Probably. So that's probably okay to leave that area zoned residential. We go ahead and do that, and that will come in nicely. Things should populate in just fine. We've had a ton of industrial demand. We're about to have a lot more because I'm about to come in and absolutely wreck all of this stuff here. So let's just get rid of all these roads, All those farms will go away. All the roads will go away, or all the buildings will go away too as we get rid of the roads. Okay, something like that. And that should have the effect, hopefully, of shifting our... What are you that's sitting there? Firehouse. Ah, yes, important for you to be relocated, actually. We might run into a little bit of debt here. Huh, problem. Maybe. Let's put the firehouse right here, I'm thinking. That way you can easily turn right from the firehouse onto this main highway area and service this whole industrial area here. Okay, so we are running quite the deficit now. Did I just hose myself? Have I lost the game is my question. Very potentially. Gosh, if so, this is going to be so embarrassing. Yeah, we've got this, which is only costing 320 upkeep per week. Where is our money going here? Budget. We're spending by far the greatest amount on garbage here. A lot on industry and a ton on roads. Come over here and check out Green Acres. Yeah, you're profiting me 2,000. Your upkeep is 1,800. My question is this is profit, so I assume that this is I assume that this is net profit, right? I'm gonna go ahead and operate under that assumption. Running out of water too, potentially a problem. Go ahead and extend this here. Okay, and we're having some problems here. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this road and leave that road for now. But let's drop in a bunch of high-density residential and see if we can tempt some people back. The high-density residential tax rates are really low, and so I'm wondering if we can tempt some people back to fill in the outsides of these boulevard areas of our downtown. Yeah, get rid of all of you. Drop in that high-density residential. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, that is our profit. Okay, now we're in the green again. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so a little bit scary there for a second. I'm actually going to leave those derelict buildings, those abandoned buildings. They should get taken care of automatically. Or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I would love to put the cathedral in our town. I really would. Problem is the in-game cathedral costs... it has a requirement for 1,000 derelict buildings. Okay, so this neighborhood is actually going nuts. They apparently really wanted some industry, which makes sense, right? And I'm actually going to go ahead and wreck those industries that are coming in there in the middle of the block, just so that we can get zoned a little more into the interior. Something like that, I think, will work really well. Okay. And zone you, and get rid of that zoning. We just want that area there to be zoned. We want to keep our avenue clear of those industrial buildings. Because industry generates a lot of traffic. Who'd have thunk, right? I'm wondering, I could probably actually... roads, these little 2-lane roads, upkeep is 32 cents a week. What about for my industrial roads? Upkeep is 25 cents a week. Okay, that leads to a very easy decision, which is upgrading all of our little 2-lane roads here in this industrial area specifically into the industrial roads. To save on just, you know, not a ton of upkeep, but just a little bit. Plus, I like using these extra roads if they're available, because I think they look kind of interesting, and give us some interesting variety. In fact, I can go ahead and grab our medium industry road here and upgrade that as well, and that'll save us even more upkeep because those 4-lane roads are more expensive. Okay, things are happening. Things are filling in. That's great. Let's come back here to downtown area. We've got a lot of derelict buildings, a lot of problems. Yeah, that's suboptimal, as we say in the industry. We just bite the bullet and get rid of, well, for one thing, getting rid of this road will help us save on some upkeep and stuff. Yeah, let's just wipe out this entire neighborhood. Again, it sounds really cruel, and it's a little bit odd that we are actually allowed to do that, but we are getting some people coming in here in this high density, the stuff that's zoned high density, which is great. High density is awesome. From a city managing standpoint, high density is fantastic because it pays for itself a lot faster than low density does. Low density, you know, out here we have a fixed amount of road and a fixed, well, not a fixed number of properties, but a relatively low number of properties. Like looking at this block here, this amount of road stretches for, I don't know, 200 yards or something like that. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 11 households or 11 businesses chilling on that 200 yards of road. So that's an example of low density. If we come over here, we're going to have, well, this is residential for now. I probably will end up gradually spot zoning this to be commercial. But here we're going to have now 8 households per building in the same amount of space. Basically from here to here, we're going to have, instead of just 11 or 12 households, we're going to have like 8 times 12 households, or 6 times 12, or that's only 2 times 12. Wait, yeah, that's because I'm clicking back there. Never mind. But yeah, so, and then all those people are going to be paying taxes. And so to maintain, say, this same stretch of road, we need fewer of these buildings in to maintain that road. So our profitability is actually going to go way up. You know, potentially extremely intuitive and makes a lot of sense to everyone, but is something that a lot of people often don't think about. And so that's the real reason, or a real reason, that high density is so sought after. Especially in this day and age with population growing. Like in my area especially, we've got lots of growing population, and so the high density is seen as a way to fix that, you know, problem. Or, you know, some people see it as a problem. It's kind of funny. A lot of people are, you know, like dead set and opposed to high density housing because that's not how their grandparents lived, or, you know, that's not the town that they thought they were purchasing property in back when they were buying property in the town in like the 60s or something. By the way, I'm just spot zoning in a little bit of high density commercial here. This is called spot zoning when we, well, it's technically not spot zoning because we're still just kind of painting things. But if we were to look at an existing property in real life, if we were to look at an existing property and say, okay, existing property, you are zoned residential, but this developer wants to use you for something else, and so we are going to go in and specifically change the zoning laws just for this property to be commercial. That's spot zoning. It is a really actually nasty process. Takes a lot of work, and a lot of people are opposed to spot zoning because it feels like it's very easy to get allegations of, like, you know, local government official corruption, stuff like that, because they're like, oh, you know, the company must have paid them off. Well, generally speaking, no, the company did not pay the local government off to get that. We've already talked about why some of these high density things can make a lot of sense, and some of the rezoning can be the really sensible thing to do. Organic stalls. Are you guys... Oh yeah, you are in that organic neighborhood, which I actually don't want you to be. And did I mess up and zone you the wrong density? Yeah, fair trade coffee. Yeah, let's, I want this just to be standard buildings here, so I'm actually gonna collapse this organic neighborhood and energy efficient neighborhood. We're gonna actually collapse that in to that side of the block, which the blocks will be getting redone anyway here in a second. Whoa, we got fire. Oh, Lord Jesus, it's a wildfire. Let's see if we should get... So yeah, there's a fire truck coming in. Where are you going though, fire truck? Yeah, we've got some connectivity issues here with our roads, but that's okay. That entire neighborhood will end up getting reworked anyway. Okay, so yeah, so we're getting some density in. We are once again back in the green, making a profit. Population is still falling. That's okay for now. Yeah, so over here is where we have a really clear area. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in... let's check our taxes as well. Taxes, I'm going to keep the high density stuff taxed pretty low. We'll leave our low density residential tax at 10%, but let's keep all of this at 9%. That'll help incentivize people to move in and actually use this this high density that we're laying out here. And then I'm just going to make a system of 2-lane going each direction roads here. Those can change, though, if we feel like they need to change to one-way roads to help with traffic congestion and stuff. And then, because we are now making a pretty high density city, I'm going to go away from my typical pattern of the roads being the certain way and certain length, and I'm going to make them, I'm going to zone pretty dense right here with the roads, and that's not quite lining up. I'm okay with that, honestly. I think I've said before, I'm okay with a little bit of imperfection. As I talk about, you know, efficiency and zoning densely for efficiency and things like that, we're missing a square of zoning potential right in there. Don't know why exactly. Obviously, one of our roads is not quite square with the other. Something like that going on. But that's okay. Do this, and then come down like this, and then like this. Okay, so that now can become mostly high-density residential, I'm thinking. Yeah, and let's zone kind of carefully here. Something like this. Yeah, still have a lot of demand for industrial. I'm going to go ahead and grab our industrial zoning tool and go ahead and expand this industry area so that we can have some more industry buildings coming in. And I'm going to grab basically this entire half of that set of blocks there. Bingo. Yes, we're getting awful pollution here. We could actually plant a big row of trees or something to kind of try to mitigate that pollution. We could also establish a district that requires that taxes them heavily and requires that they clean up their pollution. We basically give up some tax revenue when we do that. So maybe not the smartest thing to do right now when I'm a little bit worried about running out of cash and where we need cash to develop and grow. But we can do that at some point. We need a park back here. And I'm actually going to... what's wrong with our garbage collection service? Who's complaining about garbage? I actually don't see any pop-ups of people actually complaining about garbage. What about you? Not enough raw materials, low on crops. Yeah, you just filled in there. Could use probably a couple more crop fields. Over here in our industry area. Yeah, and our income doesn't know what to do, honestly. And I still think these small crop fields make the most sense. I'm okay to leave that mismatched there. That's our cotton, and that's our corn. Okay, yeah, that's fine. A little bit of mismatch is fine. Yeah, things are going okay over there. Yeah, no, we're now solidly in the green again. Yeah, our income's bouncing all over the place. I don't think the city knows what's going on. Okay, so we got this. Now, I would like to move this park over here. Let's grab our park with trees and see how big of a space you need, park. So if I were to just take out one of those kind of central blocks, like say that road right in the middle there, I could easily put that park in. Which would be great, because then it would, our land value and everything would go up and increase. There we go. Park just like that. And let's go ahead and run a pedestrian path, because I'm a fan of running pedestrian paths. Let's run a pedestrian path from here, if we're allowed to, from there to there. Yeah, running paths, bane of my existence, guys. Can I not get you to connect in? These paths should be fine with connecting in like this. Can't go that far. Nope. Okay, never mind. We're not going to run a path. That's kind of stupid. Thought you could connect those in without any problems there. We're going to have a little bit of dead space. That's okay. We can just fill that in with trees, which I will go ahead and do right now. I'm in this bad habit of saying, oh, we can fill these things in with trees later or something to make it look nice. No, we're going to do that right now. Just plop a ton of a couple different varieties of trees. We'll have this little wooded area. That'll thin out a little bit as the zone stuff comes in. But for now, I'm fine with that. I didn't show you guys. I did put in some decoration here on this little roundabout over here, which looks really nice, I think. So a couple of rocks and a couple of different types of trees. Looks nice. Looks good. Okay, so these people over here are mad about what? Low land value. Yes, you would be mad about that, wouldn't you? It's okay. We're getting stuff coming in over here. We're getting more of a demand for that commercial. So I'm going to go ahead, and now that we have some more space for the high-density residential to fill in over here in this neighborhood, I'm going to probably... How is that not zoning in for me? Erase what you were and put in that. There we go. I'm going to erase some of the high-density residential that I've put in along this boulevard and put in instead high-density commercial. And that should start to help alleviate some of that demand. Take you out, we can take this out and this. And that can all become commercial as well. And then I won't feel very bad at all about zoning over. We'll leave that as a cute little apartment building corner there. That actually, I like that a lot. No real traffic issues. Granted, we still don't have a ton of population built in here. I know this is ugly, guys, but it'll get to working. It'll start working here soon. This is going to be an area of concern for me. This because this is the main way that people coming in on the highway get to this whole half of town. We may have to look at some alternative options for that. Yeah, we're getting our low land value warning over there. I'm going to start bulldozing roads in between these two roads and sections of town. Start taking out roads here so that we can start establishing, or re-establishing the grid as it should be, right? Or as we're at least thinking it should be. Okay, something like that, and then all we need to do is run a road down like here. That actually does line up and match up. And a road down here. And then, what the heck, might as well run another road down here. And we can actually get a little road in there. Perfect. Ah, nice. Okay, I know, like, I was alarmed, and you guys were probably all alarmed too with what we had going on there. But I think this is actually going to start working fine. Let's move our elementary school. We're probably going to need an elementary school on this half of town and on this half of town. Let's move our elementary school. You can go right here, actually. And then let's grab this little playground, too, and move it to be right next to the elementary school. That's a pairing that I like to do. I think it makes sense. It's putting the elementary school and playground kind of right next to each other. And then let's do the same thing over here. We've got these, so these are going to be really dense blocks, which actually makes me happy. That's going to be exciting. That's going to incentivize our transit, which we're going to start working on probably next episode. Let's grab our other element. I do want to go ahead and put down another elementary school over on this half of the city to service the people over here. We already have that big park down up there, so let's put the elementary school probably just right there is fine. And then let's grab, again, our small playground. And there we go. That'll give us a little row of 1x1, like just the single square spots for high density development, which actually I kind of like because you get some really interesting little buildings. If you zone in interesting squares and interesting shapes, guys, you get a better variety of buildings. Like this type of building right here looks like it's just planted on a one square, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good for being like on the corner of one of our main streets. It's kind of a really nice building. Wish there was a way to limit parking on the side of the street. Probably different road types that do that. Not loving the street side parking we're getting coming in here. Okay, but we've got all that. We've got more demand coming in now for high density, or not high density, but for commercial, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and zone this stuff high density residential as well, because that's what we're working with. That's what we're looking to transition to for this downtown area. I'm going to hold off on that actually because we're going to need to put in some more roads and also take things down to speed like 2, just to kind of control the pace at which the game is going. I'm going to need to delete these roads to connect our grid up like that.
The Coast Guard is warning
Oh, buddy.
of tsunami approaching the area.
That is
Residents should avoid
not good.
roads and waterfronts.